What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here's what we got going on today. I am going to be taking a look at Black Ops 4 for the first time. I'm not going to be playing it, but if you guys have been around on this channel for a little bit now, we have been doing the map analysis series. We started off originally taking a look at all the videos on Tim Hansen's channel, everything from World at War up through Black Ops 3. I think around Origins we switched over to The Smith Plays, and we're watching his retrospective episodes because he went into more detail. But we are back on Tim's channel now. We're taking a look at Voyage of Despair today. Again, I'm going into this completely blind. I've never played Black Ops 4. I've never cared enough to watch much Black Ops 4 content, so I'm going into this with the mindset of it's all new to me. I'm going to be taking a look at all of its features for the first time, pretty much all of that stuff. So this is going to be an exciting one. We've never done any Black Ops 4 content here on the channel. Let's do this thing, guys.
It's back after months and months of waiting. We are finally going to be analyzing every Black Ops 4 Zombies map. I've done World at War all the way up to Black Ops 3. It's time for BO4 now. And I think it's only fitting that we start
We've
Black
done
Ops
World at
4
War through Black Ops 3 as well. I've made a playlist of all the episodes. So if you are interested, take a look at it.
With the starting map in Voyage of Despair. If you're a fan of Voyage of Despair and you've read the title, you've likely already left a dislike and you've likely already clicked off the video. But if you haven't, I appreciate that. I appreciate people.
Was Voyage of Despair really that bad?
We don't have the same opinion.
I'm excited to see
when it comes to zombies maps. It just so happens that my opinion of Voyage of Despair in the majority of communities is that this map sort of sucks. And this isn't just me talking out of my ass.
Really?
I've run several polls in the past. Voyage of Despair never tends to miss the bottom 5. Voyage of Despair is the least favorite map in the
I don't like to hear that. I don't like to hear that.
Treyarch
but then again, I've heard very mixed reviews about all the Black Ops 4 maps, if we're being honest. You know, I mean, I've just heard that Black Ops 4 Zombies isn't that great in general. Again, I've never played the game, so I can't actually formulate a proper opinion about it. I can't speak because I've never played it and I haven't watched much content on it, so this is all new to me.
Game.
But I've heard through the community
Black Ops 4. It isn't
it's
the worst
great.
map of all time, but it's pretty close, and it's for a couple of reasons. Voyage of Despair, in my opinion, is the lowest of the low. That doesn't mean that there aren't redeeming qualities. There are some great things about Voyage of Despair, but generally, I thought this map went under the radar, and rightfully so. I thought Voyage of Despair was just an underwhelming experience, and at launch, compared to the other 3 maps, just did not hold up as well as we thought. We heavily anticipated this map. We thought it was going to be the golden map.
Yeah, wasn't it supposed to be like inspired by the Titanic, like? Or am I just making that up?
How 9 was, which was sort of a shocker. Please do leave a like if you're excited for the next episode, which is 9, and subscribe so you don't miss that. Anyways, Voyage of Despair. What an extraordinary...
Yeah, guys, make sure to always go check out Tim's channel. Again, he made all these videos. Yeah,
concept
do that
for a map. How
I'll leave a link down in the description.
Is the Titanic as a map? This is something
there
that
it is, Titanic. Yeah, okay, so I'm not making that up.
Before we got our hands on it, just viewing the trailers, we saw how much potential there was for it. It's not very often that you see a concept or a setting for a map this unique. And on top of that, we were introduced to an entirely new story with our 4 Chaos characters. This was a recipe for success. You have an interesting, fresh new story on the Titanic. What could go wrong? Well,
so it is based off the Titanic.
Pretty much everything went wrong.
The
story, unfortunately, wasn't very captivating, which is painful.
Darn.
It's so hard to watch such potential be thrown away. As we all know, the Titanic is one of the most notorious tragedies in human history. Thousands of innocent lives were dragged to the depths of the ocean with it. It's one of the most ironic tales of all time. The unsinkable ship sunk, and thousands of people died because of that. And I felt as though a story revolved...
Wasn't it like almost 3,000 people or something like that? Like 3,000 people were on board.
Around the ship sinking, saving it from sinking,
that's right.
Could have been a very amazing Easter egg. I mean, imagine playing a
that'd be
zombies map
cool.
on the Titanic.
Like if they based the Easter egg like story and lore around the Titanic and made it like the events that take place are the events that are taking place inside the Easter egg, that'd be sick.
Where you stop the ship from sinking. That would have been incredible. but unfortunately, we were given something very different. Instead, it's a mission to find Scarlet's father, some mysterious dude that has no character development, no reason to care about him. The origins of the cult, the origins of the Sentinel artifact aren't made very clear and don't really drag much attention to it. And what we end up doing for the Easter egg is defeating a giant eyeball? I'm seriously not that guy that hates everything but Ether. I thought Chaos was somewhat good towards the end of it in Ancient Evil, but honest to God, this was just a total misfire. Personally, I thought the Chaos storyline started off on very weak legs with Voyage of Despair. It didn't carry very much weight with it. The Easter egg was confusing and underwhelming at the same time. I felt as though they had so much potential and it was just wasted. And the weak legs of this story disabled it from moving much further. Everything from here on out sort of descends rapidly. Let's talk about the atmosphere of this map. Though realistic, somehow felt, what's the word, of the Atlantic Ocean at night. It's very cold, it's very harsh, it's very grim. I understand what this map was going for, but I don't feel that when I play Voyage of Despair. When I play this map, I feel empty. The atmosphere is barren. It feels gray.
So it sounds like the map had way more potential to be something greater than it actually is.
Dull. I'm speaking primarily of the outside of the ship. The inside is certainly an improvement in terms of color scheme. It has a warmth to it. It has a light.
Oh wow, so much different. The vibe is so much different.
The entirety of the map just feels barren. Again, it feels
cool. They got the
like
staircase
the Titanic.
there.
It feels realistic, but in the same breath, it somehow lacks that intangible zombies feel. On a scary map like Nocturne Toten, for example, it's barren as well. A Nocturne Toten has the inexplicable zombies feel to it, where you feel genuinely scared.
And that's like the atmosphere that I kind of miss, like, and even modern zombies today is just like, this is a perfect example. Nocturne Toten is a perfect example of how to use atmosphere to create a sense of fear, to create a sense of isolation. Like, it's missing that in a lot of the modern day zombies maps, I think.
It's sort of bone chilling, but Voyage of Despair, again, it's intangible. It's very hard to put into words, but this map just lacks that feeling. When I look around the map, I see there was a zombie outbreak here. There's blood splatter.
Like, this is great right here. This shot right here. I mean, they did a great job replicating that Titanic feel right here in this staircase area.
There's fire.
I think it's really cool. I can get behind cool looking maps. But even if they don't give the zombies feel, I can still respect a cool looking map.
Everywhere. I see that, but I don't feel that. And that's a nice transition into the map design. Speaking of rubble, my God, this map is such a clusterfuck. There is shit everywhere.
Damn,
I understand. It all makes sense. There was an outbreak. People's stuff got pushed over. Chaos ensued. When you're dealing with a real location, it's hard to manipulate the spacing and make everything feel better for training and all of that. It's bound to be a little bit clusterfucky. But I mean, holy cow. The close quarteredness of this map proves very difficult, particularly on the inside of the ship. But on the outside of the ship,
look at that.
Oh
my God, what is that?
You have these very
What in the world?
Very narrow hallways, and you have all of these tables and chairs and all of this shit in your way. It makes training, it makes surviving in general very difficult, and it also makes everything look sort of bad. It's sort of an eyesore. With the inside of the ship being so condensed, you're sort of forced to train on the outside of the ship, which is a step up in terms of spacing, but there's still many small things in your way that sort of ruin the momentum of training. It's not
That's what it looks like
to train on this map. I mean, on most zombies maps, even if there is
and on most Call of Duty games, I feel like there's been a pretty decent mix of maps that have great training spots that you could just train for hours on, and then maps that are just like this, like just crap everywhere. Like there's no good training spot. I feel like there's been a pretty good mix.
Isn't a large training area. At least there aren't a ton of objects in your way that sort of screw up the momentum of everything. On Voyage of Despair, you just have all of these objects in your way, and it really proves to be a hassle. I feel like the general design and the spacing just doesn't work. And again, it's hard to manipulate that with a realistic setting.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I mean, like, I feel like most, like, even modern zombies maps today that we're still getting today. And again, I'm excited to take a look at everything we have in Black Ops 4. So I can't speak for everything in Black Ops 4 because I've never played it. But I feel like a lot of the modern day zombies is kind of oriented around Easter eggs and that the high rounding aspect of zombies is kind of swept under the rug a little bit, like, and in this example where there's no great training spot, there's no place to like really like survive. It's not really being thought about that you're going for a high round. It's more being thought about that you're playing the Easter egg story, that you're just, yeah, your character's just going to keep moving, you know, through the areas, doing the steps or whatever, you know what I mean?
Want to base it correctly off of the real Titanic, and naturally ships just don't have a ton of space, so it makes sense, but it still doesn't work great for zombies. And another issue that tags along with this is that everything sort of looks the same. It's very hard to distinguish different parts of this map.
You know, I had that same exact problem with Zetsubou. For the longest time, like whenever we were doing our Relive Black Ops 3 series, and we were on Zetsubou for a few weeks, it took me like a week and a half to like 2 weeks to like really get a hang of the map, because it was like all green. It like all looked the same for some reason. I couldn't like get around the map because I just couldn't figure out it. I couldn't figure it out directionally.
And I don't mean that I don't know what side of the ship I'm on. I do, but it
We're
all
good
sort
now,
of looks the exact same. I mean, on the inside of the ship, there are 4 levels with the grand staircase. They all sort of look identical. In both flooded areas on opposite sides of the ship, they sort of look the same as well. Every area of this map sort of feels the same. It feels indistinguishable from the next, which isn't the case for a lot of maps. And not to mention, this map is fucking enormous. To get from one side of the ship to the exact opposite, you almost have to take fast travel unless you want to walk for 5 minutes. Which is the case for a lot of maps out there, no doubt. There are many giant zombies maps, but this one in particular, it's just so narrow and linear. So in its totality, the design of this map, I would say, is generally poor. And it's not for one particular reason. Let's talk a little bit about the gameplay itself.
Yeah.
Setting up on this map can be a hoot. I don't know why I said that. No, but seriously, you have to get all the way to the Sentinel artifact on the opposite side of the ship.
Oh, man.
Not too bad, but is expensive. You have to unflood both ends of the ship, which isn't difficult, but inconvenient.
Wow, that looks really good
a lot
for
of running. You have to activate 3 packs.
I love that they made it blurry underwater, because a lot of, you know, like a lot of like first-person games, when you're underwater, it still kind of remains clear. Like, and you can't really, you know, like, but they made it blurry. That's cool.
A bunch of locations to activate the 4th one.
Unless it's just really bad gameplay. Oh, no, it's actually
Since there's rubble and tiny objects all over the map, finding parts can be a little bit difficult sometimes. So in general, I don't think setting up on this map is a nightmare. It is definitely manageable, but it's slightly inconvenient due to the nature of its design. The wonder weapon of this map, the Kraken, is fitting. I think it is a good weapon. It's unique and it's fun to use. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. I like
kind of looks like
upgrades. You can get it out of the
reminds
box,
me of the Paralyzer a little bit.
Parts, you can upgrade it and get the alternate ammo type. It's very accessible, which I enjoy about it. And really, beyond that, there isn't anything noteworthy about the gameplay.
That's just a melee weapon.
Everything else is sort of standard. One thing I don't like about Voyage of Despair are the boss zombies, which is a Black Ops 4 issue at large. You have the Catalyst zombies, which single-handedly fucking ruin the experience for me, but you also have those giant Requise looking dudes, as I commonly refer to them as. They're sort of a nuisance. The Blightfathers are a pain in the ass.
They kind of kept that pattern moving on and like moving forward in zombies, where they have like boss zombies. I mean, they kind of started that in BO3, honestly. I mean, it's not something we haven't seen before.
Collectively, it's a clusterfuck. There's too many bosses to be worrying about. But again, I'm not going to pick on Voyage for that. I am going to pick on BO4 for that, though. This map in general is sort of a clusterfuck. Voyage of Despair is the lowest of the low. And saying that out loud now, I'm realizing, sounds sort of harsh. It isn't by any means the worst map. It is pretty close because it just didn't do anything.
Gosh, it just, you know, it looks like it looks exactly like what he's saying, where it like looks so cool and has the potential to be something so cool and great, but maybe it just missed the mark, you know, for a lot of people. And I don't know. I think that basing a map off of the Titanic, or just making a big ship like this in general in the middle of the ocean, not necessarily even Titanic, I think that's a really cool idea, honestly, that they could have expanded on that. I think that's going to be a repeating issue, I feel like, going through these Black Ops 4 maps.
In my opinion, was generally poor. The atmosphere just didn't click. It lacked that intangible zombies feel. And there was so much wasted potential with the story and the Easter egg. I just thought Voyage of Despair was at the very least, the worst Black Ops 4 map. And I am confident
Well,
with this one. I
that's
don't think it's
exciting
that
to know that we've got better stuff to look forward to. At least
popular of an opinion.
that's
Again,
nice.
I've asked several people, I've ran polls. This one is the lowest of Black Ops 4. It's a map that I honestly don't ever go out of my way to play because there are just better alternatives. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I'm going to be producing these every single Sunday night going forward. Hopefully, sometimes I can be a little bit inconsistent with that, but just anticipate these every single Sunday night until we finish Black Ops 4, and then, after we finish BO4, it's over.
Cool, guys. Yeah, make sure to go, like he just said, go check out his channel. If he does zombies, just like we do over here. If you like zombies, subscribe over here too. Leave a like on this video. Guys, we would love to have you on board. Yeah, seriously, subscribe. We got a lot of cool stuff on the way. It's not all reaction content. I actually haven't done reaction content in a while, so coming back to it here with this video. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.